This is leaving Simonstown on the way back to Durbanville after the memorial service of my friend, and we're going down Main Road. Simonstown, on the right is Admiralty House, and coming up is the station on the right. There's the station. Also on the right is Long Beach. Up there to the left is where you go to Radial Pass. Goes to Scarborough, Cape Point, Mystic Cliffs, Komiki. On the right is the Naval Battery, where they practice naval guns. There's Somerset House, National Monument. And up here to the left is up to Durbanville Park and Dido Valley. This is the shopping center on the left. And then you got the Commonwealth Cemetery. And here on the left is coming up is Dixie's restaurant. Very popular with tourists and visitors. Many years ago, I used to windsurf at Glencairn, this little bay in front here on the right. That's when I worked at Simonstown Naval Dockyard. After work, I used to come and just park here, rig up out to sea. The next road to the left, you go up to the Gama Park, and there's the Glencairn Hotel. And if you go straight on, you go to Fish Cork Bay, and all along the main road to Cape Town. Now we're going to take a left here to Black Hill again. Now Glencairn is on the left and the right of this road. Durbanville Park is on the left, just behind that little ridge. It's a naval accommodation, small little town. Now the view coming up is very beautiful because you see the ocean in the distance, and then Capri village will come up on your left, and on the right is the Colin mine plus all new development housing. That in the distance, the mountain on the right there, that's where Chapman's Peak goes around. There's the new housing development, and coming up is a big set of traffic lights. If you go right, you go to Fishhook, left is Komiki, and Sun Valley's on the right, and on the left is a whole lot of shopping complexes. I think Long Beach Mall. If you turn left here, you go down to Chapman's Peak and Hout Bay. And now we're going up Oakapseweg. And normally if you hit a truck here, you're stuck in traffic. Now this is where the fire damage from the fires about 3 months ago starts. Now that village in the distance is Silver Mine Retirement Village. That also goes down to Chapman's Peak. We turn left in there. You can see on the left and right of the road how brown the bushes are from the fire. But it's beautiful to drive in winter because there's little waterfalls on the left hand side. Now around this corner on the left, coming up is Silver Mine Nature Reserve. But this whole area was damaged, totally devastated. on the left you can turn off, and there's a parking area where you can go look at the view. That's where there the sign is, and then you see the whole of the peninsula. In the distance is False Bay with Musenberg, and in the distance is Royale, Strand, Somerset West, Gordons Bay. And on the right below that mountain is Silver Mine Naval Base. That's Lions Head in the distance, which is part of Cape Town. And on the right below is Steenberg, Constantia, Tukai. And this on the left, those mountainsides always running with water in winter. Coming up is a T junction. If you turn left, you go to Tukai, Portsmouth Prison, and Meadow-Ridge. And if you go right here, that goes down to the main road or to the M3. And that's the route we're gonna take home. And this is a small business park on the left. That's where the American Embassy is. That's Lakeside Mountain in the distance, which is part of the Musenberg mountain range. Now coming up is like 2 or 3 traffic lights. When you catch those lights, you can wait quite a long time. Is Virgin active? right is Westlake Golf Club. If you go straight on with this road, goes to a T-junction at the bottom, and that's where you go left and right in the main road to Cape Town or to Muizenberg, St James, Cork Bay, and Simonstown. We're going this road. Branch off is the M3 freeway. They used to call it the Blue Route Freeway. This fence on the left is part of Paulsmoor Prison, and the next turn off to the left goes to Tukai or Retreat. If you turn left, you go up to Tukai, or you turn right, you go to Blue Route Mall down to the main road. On the right here is Kirstenhof. Now my friend Alan James, whose memorial service I went to, he had a house here on the left, right against those trees. What's that? Now this freeway goes right to Cape Town. At the top of this hill is a turnoff. It's called Kendall Road, and that leads to Meadow Ridge, also Constantia. There's the turnoff at the top. On the left coming up is a sports club. next turn off is to Hout Bay, Weinberg. This is Weinberg Hill. This is coming up Weinberg Hill. There's a park on the left and the right of the freeway. There on the right, a spot of Devil's Peak. Now the park is here if you look to the left and the right. Now on the top of this hill, if you look to the right, as you also got a panoramic view of the peninsula. Then on the left, coming up, is the British Embassy. There we are, British Embassy on the left. Then you've got the Polish Embassy opposite. And if you turn left here, you go to Bishop's Court. On the right is Claremont, and on the left is Bishop's Court. Now in front here, the traffic always builds up. It doesn't matter what time of the day you come down this road. If you turn right here, you go to Claremont and Cavendish Square. And then coming up on the right is Newlands. And on the left is still Bishop's Court. If you turn right here, you can also go to Claremont and also to Newlands Main Road. And this is where the traffic starts building up. But normally if you pass this little stretch of traffic lights, the traffic moves quite quickly. Kirstenbosch Botanical Gardens is just below that mountain in front. At the next set of traffic lights, if you turn left, you go down to Hout Bay, Kirstenbosch, and if you turn right, you can also go down to Newlands. Now, once you pass these traffic lights here, it's normally free flowing unless there's an accident. Now, these traffic lights, if you turn left, it's down to Kirstenbosch and to Hout Bay. On the left, you got Newlands Forest. And on the right is still Newlands suburb. Now on the right is Grote Skier. It's called Genadendal now. That's the resident of the state president when he's in Cape Town. And on the right is University of Cape Town. And if you look to your right, you still got a panoramic view of the peninsula. UCT rugby fields on the left where those lights are. And Then on the right is Morsted's Mill, which was severely damaged about 3 years ago in a fire. But some company from the Netherlands repaired or restored it to full working order. You turn down to UCT on that left lane if you want to, and that road also goes down to Rondebosch Main Road. Then in front here, if you keep to the left, you go to Cape Town, to the city, but we're going to the right. Grooteskier Hospital is just at the back there, those big buildings. There you are, those buildings is part of Grooteskier. This is the N2 turnoff. There's Devil's Peak. Yeah, you got to be very careful because there's a few lanes, 2 lanes or 3 lanes that blend into this lane, and you got to choose your lane very early, which lane you're going to use, because this road eventually goes to Soloris Pass and the airport. We're taking the M5 turn off, so we got to try and get to the left as soon as possible. Just above this bridge, if you look to the left, there's a Riverside Club and the observatory, and the Lesbic River runs underneath this bridge. So we're taking the left lane onto the M5. That's the route we used when we went to Simonstown. And the N5 eventually blends into the N1. This turning to the left is Barclay Road that goes down to an industrial area, Maitland and Gunner Circle. On the left is Amazon's head office, which is basically completed. And if you look to the left, you'll see Table Mountain. And in front here, the road splits. One goes to Maitland, the one on the right hand side, with the 2 lanes where we on goes straight up onto the N1, and normally there's a bottleneck at the top of this bridge because 2 lanes go into one. There's a turn off to Maitland. Now this is where the bottleneck starts. But once you're through this part, then it's free flowing. Now the N1 from Cape Town goes under this bridge and it links up with this road. Yeah, and getting onto this freeway normally takes very long, but it all depends what time of the day. But you'll notice now, once you like slot it in, it goes quite quickly. And now we're coming onto the National Road. On the left is a business park. And this is where the N1 actually starts. To the left is Air Force accommodation for Easterplaat military base. Now here where this blue road sign is, if you stay to the left you go to Century City or down to Bosmansdam Road or to the N7. This is Easterplaat Air Force Base on the left. That's why you got these short little lights on the side. At evening they red as warning lights for the aircraft. Now there where that car's riding on the left, that's the road to Century City Shopping Centre or to the N7. There where those cranes are, that's part of the shopping centre. This building on the left is Vodacom's head office, and on the left that sign shows you N7 Montague Gardens, Bosmansdam Road. On the left in front here past Eskom's distribution network center is Goodwood Prison, and on the right is the Parliamentarian Village and Ikapa military base. This turn off here is to Monte Vista and also to the N1 shopping center. And just past this bend, it's a straight long stretch up to Plattekloof. That mountain or hilltop is Tigerberg, which is a nature reserve. On the right is N1 City. Now coming up on the left is McIntyre Road, which goes to Panorama Avenue. If you turn left on top of the bridge, you go down to past Panorama Hospital, and you go right down to Bloberg Strand. If you turn right on top of the bridge, it's down to Paro. head offices of various companies, and there's a lot of trucks on this road. Because this road eventually, it's the N1, goes to Paarl, through the Huguenot Tunnel, Worcester, then all the way up to Joburg. The next turn off is Jip de Jager, that goes to Welgemoot, the back way of Durbanville to the wine farms, eventually to Kortemans Kloof. There's the sign, and on the left is a Protea Hotel. And if you turn right at the bottom of this road, not this one, the one where you're going to turn down, you turn right, you go down to Belleville, Para. Now normally if you look right, you can see the whole of the peninsula. On the right is Karl Bremer Hospital. The next turn off here is to Durban Road and Tiger Valley Shopping Centre. At the top of this, if you take the road, the off ramp, turn left into Durban Road, that goes to Durbanville proper, and right you go down to Belleville City Centre. That building on the left, the Cipla, that's a pharmaceutical company. And then also coming up is Prasa's head office. That building there. And then you got to choose. Yeah, you got to choose your lanes. If you take in the old Oak turn off like we're doing, you got to get to the left lane as soon as possible. There's a Eskom head office in front here on the left. And Old Oak Sports Club. Here's Eskom. And here's the Old Oak Sports Club. And the road branches to the left down to Old Oak Road. We still on the national road, and the next turn off is Old Oak, which leads down to Durbanville, and but at the traffic lights, if you turn left, you go up Old Oak to Tiger Valley and Durban Road. If you turn right, you go down to Stickland, which goes to Kales River or Belleville. Now on the right is a Tigerberg Animal Hospital. Now what happens is a lot of cars on the left side cuts in front, and you've got to be very wary. Always check your mirrors when you come down or go over this road. Okay, there's the vet on the right, and you see in front here the left lane, people turn into the right lane, especially in the afternoons, which is at peak traffic. You must be very wary. On the right, coming up, they're selling various items. There you see all the stuff being sold. Now, any of the roads turning left in here goes to Stellenrijk, Eversdal. Stodels is coming up on the right just before the bend. There's the turn off to it. Of course, there's a traffic camera just in front here. On the right is a farm, but it's also owned by Sunrail now. Apparently, they're going to extend the R300 in the next year or two to run parallel with Fairtrees Road all the way down to Durbanville, to Wellington Road. There's the one road up to Stellenberg. If you turn up left, this is Mountain View Road. And at the stop street, there's a small little superette. There's also a hardware store, hairdresser, coffee shop. Now on the right here, on the corner is Stellenberg High School. At the bottom, if you turn right, you go back to the National Road and to Stodels. At these traffic lights, if you turn left, there's Eversdale Road, you go up to Durban Road and to Fairmont High School. And if you turn right, you go to Glengarry Shopping Centre, to Cape Gate, to Brackenfell Industrial, or to the N1. This is the Braun Road. This is Fair Trees Road. Goes from two lanes to a single lane. On the right is Wagner's Golf Academy. Now the R300 is going to go straight through this whole area. Apparently it might be a 6-lane highway. Petitions have been put in to stop it. Now to the left here is Simonstown, and on the right is Simonstown East. Now it goes from a single in front here to a double carriageway. And at these next traffic lights, if you turn left, you go up Vijgenboom Road to Simonstown Dam Lower and Upper. Also to Durban Road. If you go straight, you go to the golf club, and we turn right here. And this is the Kales River. In winter, sometimes it overflows its banks. Get to a T-junction. This is Simonstown East. And that was my trip for my friend, late friend Alan James.